So first of all, I'd like to welcome Daniel Haynes, who is quite well known here. He won the Exeter Slam in 2012 and the Spokes Amaze Slam in October 2013. He's a very, very fine performance poet. His fringe gigs that he has lined up for this year include one in Barnstaple, one in Bath, and one in Edinburgh. So please put your hands together for Daniel Haynes.
I am Daniel Haynes. I've lived in Exeter for over 10 years. I love it. As the bard, I would serve this city and you, its ladies and gentlemen. Here are my promises. I promise to try to figure out what a bard does and how they do it. How does a bard do it in the modern age? A bard perhaps should have a social responsibility. Thus, I will do something for the city of Exeter, something for the arts in Exeter, and something for the young and disadvantaged in Exeter. Thirdly, there will be free pasties for everyone. Fourthly, there will be more words in the dictionary that rhyme with pasty for poets to choose from. There will be poetry in every public toilet in Exeter. We will start with the ones near the library. They are the worst toilets. But before we improve them, we will need to exorcise them. Lastly, number 6, I will raise an army of all the bards, both living and dead, to battle against the privatisation of the NHS. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the voice of poetry. Can you hear me? Am I coming through? Apologies for interrupting and speaking through this gangling fool, but I bear a message of no small hope. I have a need to speak to you. I live in a world that's very different from your own. I live in a world that is exactly the same. I am a kind of garden gnome that sits by ponds with rod and line cast out to tempt and reel in idle minds. Apologies for interrupting, but I bear a message of no small hope. I tried to find a better poet. I tried and tried, but they were all too busy thinking and they would not bite. And we are running out of time, and so I'm here to speak out through the dumbest fucking dummy. Last night we met at the usual pub after hours, just me, anarchism and mine, sitting on the bar in the near dark, illumined by the few blue neons that buzzed like electric wasps behind. We sat there, tiny, hungry, thin, helping ourselves to shots of beer and crisps, acting out great stories of long-gone days when the nation, not a beer man, was our stage. Soon we grew loud and drunk till neon lights and faces swam and spun into each other. Then I was sick. Soon after I became morose, my heart heavy with the thoughts of moon and thunder and wolf, and I proposed a toast to absent friends. And we drank that someday we should meet again, and we drank against you citizens who'd neglected us and them, and we bade them swift return from their awful deathly peace, and I yearned for the one I missed so much, whose name I could not speak. I woke up this morning with the sun in my eyes like a screaming drill. I peeled myself off the tarmac, shambled over to the high street, trying to avoid the careless, plodding feet, wondering what had happened to them, but not one of them could see me. I stopped outside BHS, watching my reflection in the glass, a jaded satire of myself, a joyless, hopeless mess. And then I saw it. It was her face in the glass, reflected in the crowd behind me. I turned, but she was gone. I took off, running, stopping, spinning round, looking for her sign in every place. To Central Library, checking the graffiti on the walls, but there were no strange symbols, there were no pre-Roman names. No matter, I was on the scent, I was on the dizzying trail of it. All afternoon I hurtled through the city, through St. Thomas to St. David's, to Wallingford, Poleslow Bridge. Encouraged, enlivened, I began to see traces of her everywhere, but nothing fully tangible, always a strange look, a thing misplaced, a sense of something in the air, but I had to know if it was really her. And if so, that she had the same power she had before. I had to feel it fully again. I had to be sure. I came to Rougemont Castle, nervous, apprehensive, alone. Nothing down in the gardens, nothing happening. Evening drew on. It was 7 and I was about to go when suddenly a total and utter darkness was thrown upon the world, and slowly from it emerged the spectral forms of all the buildings all around in liquid definitions that seemed hyper-real as they glowed against the black. And I realised that everything was just a hologram. The moon began spinning clockwise as if time was turning back, and surreal animations played on the building's plasmic forms. Here was the city before Princess Hay. Here was the city before the bombs. I had a strange and pure awareness, as if in some fantastic dream. I heard the rustle and crack of tall ship sails. Down upon the quay I heard the clop and clatter of horses' hooves as they passed the city gate. The moon had stopped its whirling. It was 1588, and something to the west was tugging at my mind. I turned myself to face there and into Dartmoor. I cast my eyes to where again a total darkness was, that was yet more whole and thick, and far into the distance, barely visible, a speck, then another, slightly larger, some miles closer on the moor, then another, some miles closer on the moor, and then another, flickering orange. There were fires upon the tors. I turned around in time to see it burst upon Beacon Heath. A howling rush of towering flame, sparking, sizzling, emerald green. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, this is the voice of poetry. Can you hear me? Am I coming through? Look for me, people of Exeter, you will see me. Always out of focus, just at the corner of your eye. I will be fishing from the vending machines, from the curbstones, the traffic lights. You will be seeing much more of me. Listen for me, people of Exeter. You will hear me. Some way off behind you, just beyond the edge of sound, you will be hearing much more from me. She is back and I am whole again. Magic has returned to our city.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Lovely stuff to work with.